So, the topic of this video is why do so many developers fail to get a job even though they have been practicing for some time? Um, they have been following tutorials, they have um, worked on portfolio websites, and they've been reading books, they've been speaking to other developers using Google or Stack Overflow, whatever, to find solution to their problems. Why is it that they are still unemployed? And it's really something to think about, right? Because a lot of the jobs don't need you to have a, a degree or some papers from uni. As long as you can speak English or your own language properly, you should be fine. So why is it that a lot of developers don't find the job? And I think there is few there's few solid reasons, and a really good one is that these people have not worked on a project that would give them real world experience. So as a beginner, you're generally working on sites that are small, right? And I mean, they're generally not too complicated. You haven't spent a month, 2 months, 3 months working on a single piece of software. And if you have, then that sort of implies that you have gained quite a bit of experience. But a lot of the people have not done that. So that is quite a problem, really. And because they have not done that they are unable to put together a CV that's worthy of having a look at. They just don't have the confidence. They think learning one technology after another and whatever the trending framework is in the market is gonna have them land the job. But obviously, um, in real world, that's not the case. Employers hire you to get the job done. There is not a single company that uses ten frameworks. They'll pick one framework generally and stick to it. So there is no reason for you to go out there and learn a half dozen frameworks. What you really need to find a job is pick one language and get really good at it. So, for example, for front end, JavaScript is something that you should be really good at. Um, for backend, you could learn Python and then eventually a framework, but you need to work on projects that take quite a bit of your time, right? Just like in a normal um, office environment, you're assigned a project. If it's a greenfield new project, you are expected to work on it for some time. Make sure it's something that's production ready, right? And If you can do that, if you can work on big projects for a couple of months, then another project a couple of months, sharpen your skills, then you will be you'll be in a much better position compared to most of the other developers who are working on small sites. They're working on 7 sites, 7 days. They are it's impossible to work on a complicated site and get anything done in in a day, right? So you want to be the person who works on bigger site, pick bigger projects, put together a map, a site map or something, put together a plan, spec doc, and stick by it and follow it, and don't don't give up quick, and you'll be in a better place to land a job. Once you have done that, you will be much more confident because you have worked with something that's difficult. That's what employers are after. They don't care about your small random number generator um, apps or calories calculator app. They care about big software. So, for example, if you build an e-commerce site, take you 3 months or 4 months, that's something they will be happy to look at and consider you. Once you have done that, obviously it's an ongoing process. There's no cut off, there's no finish line here. You'll have to continuously be doing that. So as you do that, get more confidence, then you can put together a CV with all the skills, all the struggle you have gone through, all the piece of functionality you find difficult, and you are gonna be surprised how substantial your CV becomes, how much value it actually has. And when that is the case, recruiters or employers would love to speak to you. And it has nothing with you to do with your background, your papers, your degree. It's purely the skills, right? That is generally the two things that stop people from getting job. They have not worked on something serious, and they do not have a good CV. So that's what I think. And if you are someone who's looking for a job and you can focus on just these two things and forget about anything else for a year or so, you'll be way ahead of the people. A lot of the people, especially in web development industry, they don't know what they're talking about actually. One, because just had never had a job. They have not worked under an employer. They do not know what's working against a deadline or on a software you don't understand anything about. So stick to those two things if you're looking for a job. And I know I was just answering the question, but it's also sort of a guidance for people out in the market or who are going to be in the market in a couple of years. Keep these two things in mind. You'll do good.